Hello! I am starting out another reading vlog. This is going to be part one of my reading book box books. Woo! As you can see, I got my new chair. I'm still like figuring out like a good filming. Here, let's see if I can like pick this up and be like, hey, hey. It's really close, I know, but this thing is massive. Like, it's a big, large chair. So, I'm very excited about my big, large chair. This is my big sack of books. I need to clean my shelves, y'all, don't I? Ooh, I'm trying not to drop this, like, I just, like, took y'all on a ride around this chair. So, I'm not 100% sure what book I'm gonna read first. I'm trying to decide if I want to read my, like, ones I think I might not like and end up getting rid of, or if I want to read the ones that I'm like super like know I'm gonna like first. There's two that I'm most excited about. Let me see if I can find those. Well, three. There's three that I'm super like excited about. There's Wings of Shadow. This is the third book. I might go ahead and get to this one in the Crown of Feathers. Then we've got The Devil Amongst 3 is one that I'm super, super excited about. And boop, this one. She Who Became the Sun. Aren't they pretty? Like, this is such a pretty TBR. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's like, oh, I need to pick. I've got 16 books on my pile of possibility to pick from. Don't know which one I'm going to get to today. So I'm thinking, look, I'm looking at these three right now. Finish a series or start a new one. We're going to finish a series. You know what? That's the first thing we're going to do. Because it fits and it's a book box books. We are going to finish this series. We are going to read Wings of Shadow.
Bitch is gonna make me go in all the houses by myself.
Hey, we got our necklaces. little update. I ended up finishing Wings of Shadow last night. It took me a few days to finish this because this is a big old chunk. I gave her 5 stars. I thought it was a really good wrap up to the series. I love this series. It's kind of tropey and YA, but I love it. And I really think that it's a good bridge book. It's a good, like, between YA and adult, like, people that typically read YA that want to read more adult. I think this is a good intro. This series is a good intro for them. I don't know. I just really liked this series. It's different than a lot of the YA books that, you know, you typically read because it is like multi-POV. But it still has a lot of the like YA tropes that you kind of love to hate and hate to love. I really liked this. I gave it 5 stars. It was freaking fantastic. So book 1 of my reading book box books is good and done, y'all. And then tonight I started The Devil Makes 3. I'm 100 pages in already. Let's be honest. This book is so good so far. It's set like in a fancy collegiate style high school in Pennsylvania. And we have 2 characters that we're following, Tess and Elliot. And basically Tess is like there on scholarship and she works in the library, and it's like not a normal library. It's like got levels, and only people that work in the library can like check out books and like give them to the students. Elliot is a student. His dad is I think like the headmaster or whatever. It's so good. It's dark academia YA. Like, and it's older YA. The characters are like 18. So it's really good. They're seniors. So I like that it's kind of older. It definitely has an older feel. I think this is standalone. So that makes me happy. But I'm really liking it. Other than that, if you want the life updates, Girl Child has started her reading therapy for dyslexia again. So hopefully homework won't be such a fight anymore. Hopefully that gets better. No track meets this week. We haven't had one in a while, actually. Oh, I'm tired. But yeah, no track meets. The boy. It's been a mess with the boy. Okay, so he started VPK. And he's had a good like couple years, 2 years, year and a half, between being in like a structured like daycare-esque environment and then like going to school. So he's just been home with me for like a year and a half, 2 years, right? So the school at one point had called my husband and I in and said that they wanted to talk to us. Basically, he's doing great, but, and I'm like, crap. Certain things seem to like trigger him emotionally. A lot of sound, a lot of chaos, moving from one task to the other. I kind of thought it was just the adjustment, right? And they're like, well, it's been 5 weeks. And I'm like, okay. So they recommended me to get him screened, so autism screening. And I went and did that today. And the lady that did the screening was like, I don't even know why you're here. I'm like, what? Like, literally 15 minutes into this. Like, he's answering these questions and stuff and doing the stuff. And she's like, I literally don't know why he's here. He's scoring super high on all of my, you know, questions. I don't know why he's here. I'm like, okay. I don't either at this point. Like, he does have like some sensory things, like the super loud noises and the chaos, and like he very much likes things in a routine, and break in routine just like throws him off. And he does have a tendency to get kind of emotional, loud emotional outbursts, but usually they can be calmed down really quickly. And apparently, according to the recommendation letter, like the referral letter the school had sent over, this woman, this poor woman that's amazing and was doing the screening, like literally expected like a child with no social skills, like no intelligence, I guess. Like, I don't know what she was expecting. Like, the recommendation letter or referral letter or whatever it was said, you know, just made him sound like terrible. Like, he's having all these emotional outbursts and he can't do things and he doesn't want to be touched. And I'm like, he's not like aversion. He does not have a touch aversion. He's a very huggy, cuddly, snuggly kid, but like only with people that he wants to, I guess. Like, I don't know. He's not super touchy. He's like super touchy with us. Like, but like, as a kid, like, who cares if he, I don't know. It was weird. Like, I was a little strange. Yeah, not really sure. So we did that. She's good. He passed everything, so he's fine on that. If anything, they think the lady had said, she's like, maybe ADHD, since it does tend to run in your family. My husband had ADHD as a kid, or has, or, you know, he was diagnosed with it as a kid. I'm pretty sure there's a possibility that I have undiagnosed ADHD, but that's a whole nother story. You know, it's very underdiagnosed in women, especially like girls of my generation. So there is that. I was gifted as a kid. If you know anything about like the gifted children, it was like it's a mess. So we finished up there and had some time to kill. Went to the used bookstore, picked up a couple things. I picked up stuff mostly for the kids. I got the first 3 books in the Our Dark Materials, His Dark Materials. I've never read those. I know. I've never read those, so I got those to read with the kids. Let the boy pick out a book. I picked out a Descendants book for the girl because I have like a ton of credit at that used bookstore from just stuff I've taken out. So yeah, that was how my day's gone. And tomorrow's Friday and I'm very happy because I'm tired and I got stuff to do. I have so much to do. I actually have been so busy lately just with like work and then, you know, kid stuff and whatever. I actually made the decision to temporarily shut down my Patreon. I just felt like I was not giving it what it deserved. Like, I wasn't making it worthwhile. And that was just because of time constraints. And it's like all these things that I wanted to do and thought would be really cool. Like, I just keep running out of time. So I paused it indefinitely. I'm definitely going to be like doing some brainstorming and coming up with ways to make it beneficial for me and for my patrons, because like I'm not just going to be like, all right, just keep paying me. Like, that would be shady and crappy of me, right? So we paused it. It will come back at some point, but it will be at a much like smaller like level of things I can handle and do. But yeah, that's just kind of my little update. Monday though. So today's Friday. Monday, I'm going to get my 3rd session on my back. And I'm very, very excited. Like, I'm ready for this to be done. Like, I'm ready for it to be done and see it like completed. So I don't think it won't be done in my 3rd session, but I'm very, very excited to get more done and see where it goes. My dog is standing here wanting to go pee. So I will let you go because I got to let her out before she pees on my rug. Hey guys. So last night I ended up reading half of, what is this called? The Devil Makes 3. And I am really liking it. It's very dark academia, Unleash the Devil, but it's very set in a library. And I'm loving it. And it's kind of giving me ideas for like a recommendation video based on books set in libraries or around libraries. Abby actually did a really good one. So I'll link that because Abby has the best one and it made me want to read all the books that are like set in these libraries. Because lately I have found that I have liked books in libraries. Another one that this kind of makes me think of, although I haven't read it, is Archive of Hell, maybe? Archive of the Undead? I have it. Abby actually gave it to me for Christmas one year. I haven't read it yet though. I think that's what it's called. Library of the Unwritten. Archive of something is the second book. Library of the Unwritten, which is like about a library in hell. Yes, please. But so far, so good. We have these like older high school kids and they've basically unleashed a demon from a book. And the girls like got ink coming out of her like nose and stuff. And I'm like, it's really good. Very gothic-y. Like, it's a really quick read too, because like I read half of it last night. So far my book box books are going well. Hey guys, so last night I finished I keep calling it The Dark That Dwells. That's like a whole nother book. The Devil Makes 3. And I really ended up liking it. I gave this 4 stars. It was definitely a good one. I think if you like more like horror light, this might be for you. It's very like gothic horror meets dark academia with a little bit of witchcraft, and like there's a devil, and it's good. I liked this. It was fun. It was really good for, I think, like this time of year too, because it's very like, even though it's set in the summer, it still feels very fall for some reason. Like, it just has that very fall dark academia feel, even though it's set during the summer. So keep that in mind. I will say there is a lot of blood in this book, so if that bothers you, there's self-harm, but like unintentional self-harm. There's blood magic, so like cutting your hand, but it's so good. It's a really, really good book. I really enjoyed this, and I haven't heard very many people talk about it. It was I think FAiryloot book last month before, something like that. So far we're doing great with our reading book box books. 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2. Now we're going in for one that I'm super excited about. I've heard some people absolutely love it. Some people said it was boring. She Who Became the Sun. I'm very excited for this. I have high hopes. I'm hoping it gives me Poppy War vibes, because like that's just something that I've heard a couple people be like, oh, it kind of reminds you of the Poppy War. It's very, from what I've heard, I haven't started it yet. From what I've heard, it's very much more historical fiction than fantasy, which is fine with me. It's like fantasy light. And I'm okay with that. So it's got one of my favorite tropes too, which is girl dresses up as boy. I don't know why. That's like one of my favorite tropes, is like when a girl pretends to be a boy. So we're going to go into this. We're going to start it now. I have like a live stream that I'm doing a little bit later with some friends, but I'm going to get some reading in first. Good morning. So I want to do a little update. I'm 100 and something pages, 150 pages, 160 pages into She Who Became the Sun, and I'm enjoying it. I can definitely see what some people have been kind of complaining about with that switch from part 1 to part 2. So part 1, we are strictly following one character, and then as soon as part 2 comes around, which is like, I think about 100 pages in, it switches to multi-POV. So we're kind of used to being like single POV, and then it swaps to multi. Honestly, it was a little jarring, but it didn't really bother me that much. I actually really like the switch to multi-POV because I like multi-POV stories. I like seeing like the bigger world and stuff like that, and definitely more historical fiction than fantasy. This is definitely set in like China, and it says it's China, kind of like the Poppy War, but more historical fiction than the Poppy War. There's literally so far very, 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 very minimal fantastical elements. There is ghosts that one of our main characters can see, and that's about it. Like, that is literally about it. So far I haven't really seen, there's no magic, there's no anything like that. There's just like ghosts, And so far they're just kind of there. Like they don't do anything. She can just see them. So I don't know if that's going to be expanded upon or whatever, but I am really enjoying this book. I can definitely see why it's not going to be for all fantasy readers. And I know that my, like, comparing it to the Poppy War puts a lot of people off. It's like I compare it to the Poppy War in the way that it's historical fiction fantasy, only it's more historical fiction even than the Poppy War. Like the Poppy War takes like real life events and things that really happened in China and puts them into a fantastical story. This is similar, only we are actually in real life China and there's a few fantastical elements and fictional elements thrown in. So that is, in my mind, that's the similarity. Also, like, the main girls are definitely not super similar. She's definitely not much like Ren. Other than the fact that she wants to achieve greatness, like, not like Ren. Not super unlikable. She's a pretty likable character. But, like I said, I am enjoying She Who Became the Sun. So, let's see how much farther I can get into that tonight. Maybe, because I'm about to leave right now and go, if you can tell, like, I'm not, obviously, it's Monday morning and I'm not going to work. I am heading to my tattoo shop and we have session number 3 on my back. So I'm really, really excited. We're going to be working on that all day. So I'm going to be kind of just chilling. I'm sure I'll try to get some B-roll footage for you. Like, I'm really excited to see what happens. Hey guys, so I'm home from work and kids are in bed and I did some work on my own stuff, like my website, and sent some emails and signed some contracts. So yeah, I'm actually gonna try to read a little bit more of She Who Became the Sun. I have a video that's rendering right now, so I'm gonna have to like go upload that for tomorrow. I'm so behind, so behind, but I'm halfway through and I'm really enjoying myself. Definitely one for, like I said, if you like historical fiction. This is not as much fantasy as it is historical fiction. Like, straight up, like, I am not seeing any like real fantastical elements, but I'm okay with that, right? Like, if you like historical fiction, I think you'll like this. But I also think this is really good for fantasy readers because it's still got like a lot of typical like things you would expect in fantasy. It's very heavily focused on war, so there's a lot of scenes of war and it's like pretty violent. It's definitely adult, not YA, so that's exciting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this and I can't wait to see what happens now. I got my back work done yesterday. Session number 3 is done for the back piece. I would show you. I don't know if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can. You can't really, because of my shirt and stuff, see much. But I'm wrapped in plastic. I'm wrapped in Saniderm. And I'm waiting for my husband to get home. He's going to change it for me. So what you have to do is they put it on at the tattoo shop, the first layer, right? And then you leave that on for about 24 hours. With just outline, it doesn't weep as bad, but since I got color, this bitch has been leaking. Like, not leak, but like it's weeping. Like, so if it's your first time getting a tattoo, like, don't freak out that like your ink is pouring out, because like it does that. It's like fluid and like your ink and stuff like that, like excess ink, not the ink that's actually in your body. Okay. It's not the retained ink. It's gross. So I was going to do a cool, like, and show y'all the ink sac, but my, it came loose at the bottom. So like it all leaked out and it was really gross and it's like continuously leaking out. So I really need to get my husband to change this. But what they do is, so when I take it off, I'll wash, and then I'll put some of the Sanoderm lotion on it that I got from the shop. And then he will put new Sanoderm on, which completely covers it. It's like a second skin. It's plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it. It's Sanoderm. And that will stay on for 7 days. And that keeps it from like getting janky. Like that helps it really heal and not peel as bad and not itch as bad. Like it still itches because like I'm just an itchy bitch. But yeah, that's the tattoo process. It's not a pretty process, y'all. If you've ever gotten tattoos, you know that like the healing process is not pretty. The actual getting a tattoo done process is also not pretty because it's like pretty uncomfortable. That's like my favorite thing is people like, oh my God, did it hurt? Fucking yes. Fucking yes. Like the answer to did it hurt is yes. It hurts. It hurts more depending on where it is. Like this didn't really hurt. This didn't really hurt. This didn't really hurt my back. It hurts depending on like where we're at. Like it hurts. My hips still hurt the worst. I'm not gonna lie. My like hip like rib cage area, girl, that hurt the worst. Be fully honest with you guys. Yeah, I've just had a crazy busy like day past few days, and I think my video's done rendering. I'm gonna upload that, and then I'm gonna read, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I have to get up balls ass early. Take daughter to track. Hey guys. So last night I finished my last book of this reading vlog, this part 1 of reading like book box books, and that was She Who Became the Sun. I gave it like 3.54 stars, somewhere in there. I liked it. I didn't love it. Like it was good and it had so much potential. It just didn't end up being like wow to me. Like I really expected more. There was a lot of things I liked about it though. Like I don't understand the like the comps that it gave though, because what did it compare it to? It compared it to Song of Achilles, which I haven't read, but I'm pretty sure this like doesn't sound anything like Song of Achilles after reading this. And something else. What was it, y'all? What did it say the comps were? I don't even remember. It was like something meets Song of Achilles. I can't find it. It's not in this edition. But I didn't see that. Like Song of Achilles, I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering correctly because I haven't read it. But like I know the Achilles story, the actual Achilles story. No, not at all. Like there is a female relationship in it, which is nice, but like this is basically historical fiction with like the tiniest bit of paranormal. Like this isn't like what I would consider high fantasy. There's no like real magic and like it's fine. It's very war focused though. There's a lot of things I like that it does. I actually like that it's more historical fiction because I like that. Like I'm kind of getting more into historical fiction, but like it needed something. And it's like, as we progressed, we got very much more into where our main character is just not likable. And that's fine. I like an unlikable character, but it's like, I know a lot of people aren't going to like that. I originally said that it gave me Poppy War vibes just because of the fact that it's extremely based on actual Chinese history, even more so than the Poppy War. But then I said that our main character didn't really remind me of Rin at all until the character did start to remind me of Rin. So I kind of take that back, right? Like I feel like as the book progressed, I was like, okay, I can see why like the character kind of does remind me of Rin. And then at the end, I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm getting those vibes. And honestly, like it was good. I would probably read the second book just to like know what happens. But I'm not like, oh my God. So like it was good. And I'm going to keep this one. Like I'm going to keep this edition because I really liked it. This whole project is like if I don't like these books and I DNF them or like I give them low ratings and don't want to read like what's coming up, I will get rid of them. This one I'm going to keep. I did like it. I did not love it. It was like I said, some people are going to love it. Like I saw so many 5-star reviews, but then I saw a bunch of people like give it like really low ratings. I kind of fall in the middle of those. Like I was torn between giving it 3 and 4. So like I gave it 4 on Goodreads, but really it's more like a 3.5, you know? It's just, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible. You know what I mean? Like it was good. I enjoyed myself. But yeah, so this was a nice little start to the experiment. I really liked The Devil Makes 3. Like I really, really liked this one. And it's a standalone. We'll definitely be keeping that. And then of course, the first one that I read is somewhere in here that I can't reach because it's so big. Wings of Shadow. Whoop, is it upside down? No. Wings of Shadow. This one might have been my favorite out of the 3 books, but it's like a 3rd book in a series I already knew I liked, so I don't know if that really counts. Loved this. Loved this. Meh. So, this was kind of my first part of this. I will be continuing on and reading more books from book boxes here on my next reading vlog. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye.